Yep. How's everyone doing today? Okay. Yeah, I went live a couple minutes early. My bad. It's not really bad though. Um, Sam, how's it going? Okay, Twitch is up. My stream, I just accidentally closed out of my stream chat here. Hold on a second. Professional streamer. Go live. Talk sent to Rob, how's it going? Okay. Random Wednesday. Yeah, we got stuff to talk about. They put out the announcement today for the watch list, and immediately there was a bunch of panic today, right? Like there was immediate panic from a bunch of people that, oh no, they're about to nerf a bunch of things. Trouble. Samuel, I'm sorry. Byron, how's it going? Dark Ghost. Let me get my stream elements up. Forgot that stream elements. I was gonna go live like a couple hours ago, but then I got sidetracked. I do have a video in the works on this topic. I just do not have it done yet. They should have included the underperformer examples. Yes, I agree. I've got 8 minutes, almost 9 minutes in this video so far. But I do have some segments from the interview I did with the systems team earlier this year, and I'd like to start by playing that. I think this will let you. I'm just gonna have to hit all the settings here and hope you can hear it.
Well, and that's probably something just to mention since we have you here, because I know this is a subject that you will be interested in once we get it out in front of players, like our watch list that we've mentioned a few times in the past. Our goal is to have something up by the end of the month that we have something in front of players that they can understand where our mindset is at with certain items that are considered overperformers and what sort of turnaround players might expect in terms of tuning, or at least what kinds of things we're looking to tune on those on all of that. Going forward, I want to also try to find some sort of way that we can interface with content creators or really active members of the build community to get more input in front of us for these items that we understand are overperforming. And right now in the first iteration, the watch list will just be overperformers. I know I've mentioned in the past I have an interest in tuning up some underperformers, but there's hundreds of those in SEO at this point. So pick and choosing which ones are the important under.
So right there, I almost like right there was from the 16th bundle interview I did with them. I think I cut this portion out of the initial video and was going to have it as like an insert into a news video. No, that's the entire systems team. But yeah, there was discussion about the watch list there, and also when I talked to Thomas, way back earlier this year, right in that conversation, there was also, discussion about the watch list. So there's a bit of the start of the video here is just me inserting those clips from those interviews, just explaining some of the backstory to what is going on. Yeah, that's Miku. Yeah, so that's the entire systems team there. You've got Jeremy, Mayo, Mr. Impersonalance there. You got Phil, Alex, and Miku. I just want them to be specific on how they qualify over performance, yeah. The panic is always from dudes that haven't broken 250K. It's like being worried about billionaires being taxed when you make 25K. Yeah. Okay, but yeah, I've got a video going over the situation, which will be dropping here later tonight, early tomorrow. I'm reading out the blog, just giving my thoughts, stuff like that. It's going to be a longer video for sure, probably 20-30 minutes. Yeah. But yeah, for those of you just tuning in, what's going on is they have introduced the watch list. This is something they've been talking about doing for a while. And it's basically just to give us some transparency into what items they view are over or underperforming. I know, Chiaps, I know. Yeah, we're Mara, Chiaps, and myself are going to be doing like a captain's table thing here in the next week or so, most likely. And I think we're looking at doing it live. Wolfpack, thank you for the Prime sub. I'm going to have to get new notifications set up with all the stuff going on with Stream Elements. Really disappointing. But yeah, it's a watch list to go over like the high performance or underperforming items, and it's just basically letting us know that they're aware of them. It's not, if something is on the watch list, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be nerfed. There's other ways that they can deal with underperforming items or with overperformers. That they can also create alternatives. And for instance, Uncon is on this list. And with Uncon, that's what they're doing. With unconventional systems, they're giving us alternatives. They gave us the noble trait to help with our orders. They've given us the harmony trait, harmonic was it redistribution. They gave us console cooldown reduction passively on the Voktar console. Like they're trying to sprinkle in alternatives, you know, every now and then. Spud, thank you for the sub, greatly appreciate it. So an item being on this list doesn't mean nerf, just to be clear. It can mean that they're just watching an item for now. It can also mean, you know, they're looking at alternatives. But the items that they have on the list, the first here is the prototype phaser hexa cannons off the Achilles. These are the top performing experimental weapons. Nothing else really comes close to them. But it's important to keep in mind with the hexa cannons that they perform really well for those of us that are forward facing. And most of us that are getting high performance out of them, you know, we're already on like dual cannon builds with that forward focus. Twitch is getting ads. Oh, Begone ads. Okay. I was gonna say already. But yeah, the hexa cannons they perform really well for those that are forward facing. If you're not forward facing, then they're not the best. So that's something to be clear about too. Is there's ways for them to that they can focus on experimental weapons that are not, you know, strictly forward facing, like the Orion Pixon's cannons. Those actually are a top performer if you're not doing a forward facing setup. Like those are really good. They could also do some experimental weapons that have more of a support focus or like cause you know, something special to happen to the enemy. Like imagine a torpedo experimental weapon where every time it hit a target, it was applying like a concentrate firepower to the target. You know, there's things like that they could do. Applying some sort of debuff or special ability to the foe that would be helpful. I mean, I'd love to have alternate versions of the hexes too. The one thing they say here too is, so just reading what they said, overperforming on a vast majority of DPS charts, earning it a best-in-slot moniker, and making it difficult to design new and desirable experimental weapons without significantly raising the ceiling on this equipment type. That's they got to stop chasing, like, wow, they have to stop chasing damage with the experimental weapons, and focus on like special abilities, like I said there, if they want to create some alternatives that people are going to use. Because damage-wise, they're not going to win. They're not going to beat... If they beat the hexes, then they're just making the situation worse for them. But yeah, the phaser synergy part of this, I don't get. That doesn't really matter. I'm running them like on a rainbow build right now. I ran them on a plasma build. The phaser synergy part, I don't really think is a big deal for the hexes, and I don't think that's a primary factor. It's just that these are just incredibly strong on a forward-facing setup where you are maintaining good uptime. I'm all for alternate versions, but they need to be released on regular Zen ships and not lockbox ships. Yeah, that's fair. I think the experimental weapons are overpowered in general compared to cruisers and science ships. I think secondary deflectors are still strong. It's just that as your performance goes up, the value from the secondary deflectors goes down, and you can get to a point where the secondary deflectors, like, you just kill things too fast. But that's an issue that some run into, but not, that's a small group of players. Secondary deflectors are still really strong for a lot of people. Debuff type 7 in an experimental weapon slot, terrible. They need to stop focusing on what may or may not be best in slot, as that's different depending on the build. That's true. Would be a good deal sync, putting alt energy type. Yeah, I've mentioned stuff like that before. Like when the immolating phaser lance was big, I was like, man, they need to put alternate versions of that in like a fleet store or something. Oh yeah, biowave capacitor. The bioelectrical wave off of the Connie 3 is really good. Dan, thank you for the bits. Hexa's phaser factor doesn't even trigger twinkling rainbow debuff. I know, really disappointing. Cruisers need some love. They need more power. That's what they need. Okay, the next thing here is the omnidirectional Pahvan proton beam. And look, I'm not going to dispute this. Like, we all know the Pahvan is like, but let's be honest, it is overpowered. We've known that since day one. The issue is it's been out for so long that it's in muds, and people have just spent almost $40 on it. This is the type of situation where it's like, this should have been dealt with at launch. And now it's been out so long that it's hit, the mud store, which happens like a year and a half, 2 years after release of an item, and people have spent almost $40 on it. Like, it's such an established thing that people have spent money on. That's a tough one, because anything that they do to impact the performance of this is gonna piss people off. I want to pull up a parse here. Let's pull up my current record. How much did I get off Resonance Shock? So the Resonance Charge proc on the Pahvan really overperforms on area of effect builds. So cannon scatter volley, fire at will. Yeah, it's without a doubt the best Omni in the game. But I mean, look at it, the damage I got from the proc on that Omni beam. Again, that's not even the Omni beam damage. That's the proc from the Omni. Almost 300k there on that run. Where is the Omni itself? I gotta find it here. It's right in front of me. Pahvan Proton. I mean, the proc off of this is not that far off of like 2 of my cannons. I mean, look, I can't even dispute that the Pahvan proc is like really damn powerful. Okay, I very much would say that's overpowered. The issue is the timing. It's been out over 2 years. That's the issue. Is it was out long enough. They were like, I feel like that was one of those where we were probably like, is this okay? And yeah. Mox, no. Things being on the watch list do not equal nerf. This is not a nerf list. This is just a list of things they're looking at. Yeah, most of these items are like old established. Yeah. Yeah, Jonesy for sure. Like if they went in and changed it now, they're gonna piss a lot of people off. That's the issue they have with a lot of this, and especially with everything going on this year. You know, with Cryptic's resurgence, they are trying to get people back, and the issue they will run into if they hit some of these key items that people have spent a lot for in the past couple of years, it's gonna be they're gonna piss people off. It's really hard. It's not worth the bad blood. Dan, thank you for the bits again. So the initial list was never planned to include underperformers. It was meant to just highlight some of the really big overperformers first. I did see Bort say that things can be on the watch list because they need alternatives. Yes, that is logical. That is it. Some of the things on the watch list are just here because they need alternatives. And things like Uncon have been getting alternatives. Yeah, and I feel like the issue is for them hitting some of these things is like would be going against trying to retain players, to be honest. I feel like that is a risk. I think any changes to some of these things would have to be accompanied by some major positive things in order for people to balance it out. Like I'd say Pahvan, like there's Omni changes people have been asking for a while. If there was a change for the Pahvan, like you got to give people some of them Omni changes they've been asking for. Yeah, I'd rather see a lot of the underperforming stuff buffed up. I showed this the other day when Mara was on the call, but Mara had sent me over some pictures to show with you all about like how console performance is on like some of the new builds, and you got a few outliers, and then you've got a lot of junk. So there's a lot more stuff that needs to be buffed up than there's that needs to be brought down. Subspace Fracture Tunneling Field, also known as the Vovin console, overperforming as both a cooldown reduction tool and as a mobility/relocation tool, has quickly become a must-have for most meta builds with no worthwhile competition. Also contains questionable functionality, whereby experienced players can cheese the activation timing to avoid the teleportation. This is not intended, but not necessarily a bug. It needs investigation as to how this aspect affects desirability. I like not being forced to jump with my my Vovin. I like being able to just go in and hit the side button on my mouse here. And look at that. I just got it. Got it with no teleportation. Most people can't be. Yeah. And yeah, I know NeoJet. We've all been saying, there's a lot of stuff that needs to be buffed up for a while. Yeah, and Vovin's another one where, that's a $42 ship, $42.50. I mean, that's the issue with stuff once it hits MUDs is if it gets hit after that long of being in the game, and then after people have spent money on it, it puts them in a really tough position. Then there's Fleet Power Network Array. Overperforming due to stacking behavior, able to target a single player with a whole team of players, easily exceeding expectations if targeted for tuning. We must take into consideration that this only seems to be an overperformer when in a coordinated group situation, and maybe that's okay. Yeah, I mean, I think enabling the coordinated play is good because that encourages people to do alternative build types like support builds. And I'm gonna be real. If you're worried about people stacking up fleet power, I mean, that's only really impacting like DPS runs, but also No, none of us can do these runs. We can't do the coordinated runs anymore, Cryptic. The servers suck too much. We tried a couple weeks ago, actually. Over in RNG, I don't remember what day it was, but we tried. We like actively were trying to do some supported runs for the Nicholas, and I don't remember. Chaps, do you remember what day that was? Does it mention that it scales higher? Yeah, I mean, if anything with fleet power was to be adjusted, I would. I don't the stacking aspect. I just don't understand why they'd care about that. To be honest, the ability to exceed 125 percent haste with it, that would be more like impactful to me of like if they were to hit it. When was this? Hold on a second, chat. I want to find this because I might be able to find the VOD. I don't do many solo runs. That doesn't happen. It was one of the days ending in Y, yeah. It was a very demotivating experience for sure. 429? Oh no. 429. Do I have a bunch of... Yes, I do. I'll find the parse, don't you worry. Wow, it's almost like I do a bunch of infected runs. Documents. I'm gonna guess 28 or 29, yeah. Oh yeah, I feel like it was a day like 28, yeah. That sounds right. Okay, 428. Let me nuke my display capture for a moment. 428. That was 820. I think I found it. Yep, okay. Found it. I can go display capture. So, I mean, the coordinated runs, they're a mess. Like the server can't handle them. Like we were trying just for fun to do like a run for the Nicholas, and he wanted to see if he could get, you know, big numbers from his torps, and I mean, I was a little bit sloppy here, but like this the one where I get pushed all the way back? Oh yeah, we did have one that was almost perfect. Okay. That might have been the one run that was like good. Oh no, look at the delay. Okay, no, so that was still a little bit of a delay situation. Like, so we didn't have too much rubber band, but I want you to note here, like the time at the bottom. So the transformer, I was a little bit slow to kill it. The transformer is dead at 2 minutes and 1 second on this VOD. Okay, 2 minutes 1 second, and I had Agni redistributor on it. Now look how long it takes for the generators to go to get that tick from Agony. Right there, almost 6 seconds. And that was like one of the better runs. Looks like we did a few more around that time as well. There are some of them where the game just will often struggle. Like, yeah, there you go. You can see it's starting to do like as I was going over to the side, like the rubber band. Like it just was, yeah. Yeah, basically, like you don't have to worry about coordinated runs because the server performance has already killed them. So that's you don't need to worry about balancing that out. Then there's Covert Warhead Module. I missed a couple comments here. Is server performance on their watch list? Yeah. Oh, and that was without fleet power stacking. That's true, chaps. Yeah. Um, they're not. It's not a nerf list. Okay, I want to be clear about that. It's not a nerf list. For some of these things, they're introducing like alternatives. It's more of just acknowledging that they're aware that these things are really good. Sure, how's it going? It's your whole ship layout. It's the whole layout for a lot of us. Fixes are needed before any buffs nerfs for sure. Yeah. Okay, then there's Covert Warhead Module. This is the console off the Terran Eagle that makes the commander pilot ship so desired for torps right now because you can fire your torps 3 times faster basically than other ships. Passive power is unmatched and extremely powerful on torpedo-focused builds, but only for those with commander pilot seating. Compounded by the general assertion that only rank 3 of concentrated firepower is viable for torp builds and also required. Combined to render all ships obsolete for torp builds unless they are commander pilot / lieutenant commander command, which only currently exist on 2 ships. Yeah, I would be fine with this console losing its like the pilot focus. I also like I've said before, I think the lower ranked command abilities need change, including concentrate firepower. The reason concentrate firepower 3 is so desired is because you're getting a high yield every 2 seconds off of it. Whereas with rank 2, it is every 4 seconds. Rank 1 is every 6 seconds. Like, they all need to be 2 seconds, and then the other aspects of them need to scale. And yeah, look, it's... You don't need... Neojet's right there. Like, you don't need to have the Covert Warhead module in order to make an effective torp build, but it's a pretty big boost. No one is running those ships for solos. What we on today, the watch list that they released for high performing abilities. Eventually it'll contain some low performers as well. Mav, the way streams work for me is because of my YouTube presence, I tend to pretty much blitz past any of the other Stowe channels on the YouTube side. Like I'm at 116 right now. On the Twitch side though, you know, it's never anywhere near as close. Like right now I'm at 33 on Twitch is what I'm seeing here. Yeah, the Twitch side, the Cryptic stream will, absolutely blow past me on. They'll get a lot more people over there than I can. What's the link to the page I'm on? Let me grab that here. Hold on a second. So yeah, this is what I'm looking at is the watch list that they've introduced. There were 2 posts today. That's the watch list, and then this is the introduction to it. I did have that open. There we go. Yeah. So, I mean, just some more alternatives for torps would be good. But then they have the Boimler effect here. Overperforming, simply the best bridge officer ability cooldown reducer available, has made rewarding similar functionality in this space nearly impossible, limiting our ability to provide meaningful and interesting choices. I mean, to be fair to them, they have actually come up with viable alternatives. I've been running the Trafalgar console for a while, Spirit of Sacrifice, and that I have both Boimler and Intelligence Agent Attaché off my build because of this console. Like Boimler's good, but I don't think it's. I don't know. I disagree with like them putting it here. I think it's strong, but I do find like you need something else alongside it if you're using it in isolation. For high performance players, we just use the ruin of our enemies and like what we get from endeavors and all that. A lot of people can also use like photonic officer alongside it. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Spirit of Sacrifice is very limited accessibility. But the other thing is, I mean, most of the lobby store sucks nowadays. Jeremy called that out over on Discord, but a lot of the lobby stuff is pretty underwhelming nowadays, and like Boimler is one of the few good things. What would be the alternative for budget players? Just Oxtabat or going like Photonic Officer, comboing it with something else. Yeah. Okay. Then there's another big one here, unconventional systems. Overperforming, so performant within its space that it created an entirely new build type and meta space for ships that use many universal console clickies, not just meta warping, but game changing. No single item or power should carry all that weight alone. Design really likes that this gameplay style is now available in STO, but worries that having it all dependent on a single must-have ability is a troublesome and undesirable way to go about it. We must also admit that Universal Console builds generate a disproportionate amount of VFX spam, which many see as an undesirable side effect of this playstyle. Terrible. Now, the thing is, again, guys, this is not a nerf list. This is also this is just they're aware that these things are good, and they want to, for some of these, they want to make alternatives. They want to make it so that there's not just one option. And with unconventional systems, we've seen, again, the Noble had health or orders. The Harmony had harmonic distribution, redistribution, whatever it is. The Volktar had a console on it with passive console cooldown reduction. Like, they want to introduce alternatives. They don't want to kill Uncon. They like Uncon. And I imagine on the financial side, people going out buying a bunch of ships now, caring about the console clickies, that's got to be helping a little bit too. But yeah, they don't want to nerf Uncon. They want to give us more ways to achieve the same result. Sunfranks, thank you for the sub. Greatly appreciate it. Yeah, they don't want to nerf it. They want more alternatives. I was joking in the Discord. They're gonna troll us, drop like an engineer bridge officer variant of Uncon, where it's every time you hit an engineering bridge officer ability, you get a console cooldown reduction. They're gonna completely shatter our viewpoint on engineering bridge officer abilities being bad. Vovin is Uncon without Uncon, yeah. Yeah, I mean, we had a lot of really bad, just wasted bridge officer abilities before Uncon, and it just gave us a way to use them. At this rate, Spirit of Sacrifice might also end up on the watch list. I mean, the Trafalgar, they wanted it to be DPRM 2.0, essentially, like in its desirability, and I mean, that's what they achieved. Then there is, of course, a Type 7 shuttlecraft. What a surprise! While not a significant source of DPS themselves, the combination of attack pattern beta and close-in sensor pass caused these pets to act as a significant force multiplier, making them a must-have on any ship that has a hangar bay. Also out of balance due to lack of cross-faction availability, there is no KDF ROM neutral equivalent. I mean, give us some alternative Type 7s. I'll take it. If that's the approach they want to go with, is just give us some reskinned versions for the other factions, I'll do it. I'm on a KDF line character. I don't want to be flying around with these Federation shuttles. Actually, no. I like it when the Type 7s blow up. So let's keep them as Fed. We're sending the Feds to I'm not going to finish that one. I'll end up on an actual watch list if I say the rest of that. He says while he flies the pet ship. It's a mere one, okay? It's a mere. I mean, resistance debuff already has diminishing returns. Resistance is the only thing in the game that has diminishing returns like that, like positive or negative. Yeah, so type 7s, I mean, we know about the value of those. Rapid lithic formation for ground, overperforming on damage output by a large margin, baseline too powerful, even before factoring in Earth Elemental Kit module synergies. OP. And that's a summer kit module right there. Show Abra records. Oh, yeah, I can pull up a ground record. Hold on. Let's pull up a random ground record. Well, I know Nukar is going to be Ball Lightning, because Ball Lightning's got a bugged mechanic that people are abusing in Nukara Transdimensional Tactics, where you can damage the Tholian boss before it's actually on the map. So that's how the Stowe League team went in and we were able to cheese like an 8 million DPS run. Jupiter Showdown, yeah. Oh, it was right there, duh. Yeah, let's go back to this here. That's 100k ground. This is going to be perfectly balanced, right? 106,000 DPS from a kit module. This is more damage than some people do in space. Yeah, it's more damage than people do than some people do in space. It's crazy. Coordinated run with no video, I might add. Yeah. And then the last thing here is Dilithium rewards from appointment events. So, early economic evaluation indicates that these recurring events are reliably and easily creating too much available dilithium for players, reducing its value and acting as a primary factor in the poor state of our dilithium to Zen exchange. If we make moves to reduce dilithium rewards, we will target alternative rewards to make up for their loss. We understand that our appointment events are a strong driver of player engagement and do not wish to do anything to jeopardize your continued enjoyment of this content. Okay, so what they're talking about, like, I gotta do my dailies. So let's just do this at the same time. Like if I go in and I do Crystalline Catastrophe, again after finishing the event, I'm getting dilithium. That they're saying that dilithium, like that is generating a lot of dilithium into the market. I mean, I think there's a few different ways for them to go about dealing with that. Not indicative of a problem. Val is a witch. Oh no.
Your assistance in taking.
I don't know. Like, what would you guys? Here's one. So instead of dilithium, what if it was something you could buy with dilithium normally? Like, day 1 gave you 1 Phoenix pack, day 2 gave you 2, and it just kept going. Like, you could stack up a lot of Phoenix packs by the end of the event, and I mean, those would be, upgrades for you. Like, I think that would be acceptable to me, would be, like, getting Phoenix packs or upgrades. Like, something that's still going to be useful to me, but, like, if you're taking the dilithium away, I mean, that's something I could live with, to be honest. It's just, it has to be something rewarding. Endeavor stuff would be good, yeah. Endeavor stuff would be very, very good.
The entity is absorbing energy. Hold fire and maintain a safe distance.
Yeah, P-Cubed, I think it is a big issue for them, of some of these items going in, hitting them so far after release. Like, it's hard, because especially this is the time where they want people to be returning to the game. They're trying to gain, gain players. Like, I think going in, hitting the mud stuff, it's a very delicate situation. And something like the Pahvan beam, like that to me is like one of the big ones, and I know a lot of people have spent $40 getting that. It's tough. Like, if they hit that, people are gonna be pissed, rightfully so. So to refund people. Did I see your question in Discord? Where was it? Where was it, Everwind? Was it in the channel DM? Oh yeah. I'm sorry, I forgot to respond. Yeah, you can upgrade the basic infiltrator to superior infiltrator. Yeah. Yeah, you can do that. I don't think it's worth it though. Because it would be cheaper to just buy a superior infiltrator. Yeah, and I'd say wait to see what they do with the upcoming fleet stuff, because I'm like really hopeful we get some new bridge officers at the embassy, because I mean, even on the last fleet update they did a couple years back, I mean, the Remans popped up as something they're like that they heard feedback that we wanted. So I'm hopeful that we'll see some Remans in the embassy. At a time when they are pushing really hard for returning players, sweeping nerfs to expensive gear is exactly what remind you of why you left the game in the first place. Yeah, it's a delicate situation. I think that they would, in the context of the past couple months, it probably would have been better for them to have included some underperformers that they want to buff up at the same time. Now, I will say, and I'm gonna be overall like a bit hopeful in the video I put out. I'm gonna be a bit hopeful that that there's some good stuff that comes out of the watch list discussion channel there, and like that long term we see a lot of underperformers buffed up, because there's a lot of stuff in the game that is old, underperforming, that needs help. And if we see this actually go in and result in a lot of underperforming stuff getting boosted up, then that would be positive. Not the initial list, but Jeremy did post some stuff over in the Discord. Let me pull up my video again. Am I in the way of this? I am a little bit. Hold on. Yeah, so I'm going to turn... Let me just turn the multi-chat off for a moment, too. So there were a couple comments from Jeremy over in the Discord, some follow-up. The list of underperformers is massive, and they were just trying to keep the initial list here a bit short, basically. Yeah, and the thing is, it's not a we are going to nerf this list. That's something... That's a very loud car. Something to be very clear about, to like, just because an item is on this list does not mean it's going to be nerfed. So please keep that in mind. Like, some of these are just there because they're watching them for now, but they may end up removing them from the list because they're okay with their performance. Items might be on the watch list because they need competitors to be added to the game. Like, it's not just a nerf list. And I think that's the biggest thing that is not getting out there is it's not everything on here is going to be nerfed. But there's a lot of this they just want to introduce competitors to, and for some of the underperformers, they've got some thoughts, but they want the underperformers that they focus on to be informed primarily by player feedback. And some of the ones, though, that Jeremy did highlight are Fleet Store and Lobby Store. And, I mean, both of those do need a bit of help, to be honest. It's the way, let me plop chat back up here. Unrestricted ROM drone ships to rival Type 7s. I'd like to see pretty much all pets have their restrictions removed, to be honest. I'm incredulous that the game company will work on underperformers when 80% of the items underperform or are absolutely worthless. You have to have a design stated goal for performance. I think establishing a baseline target for performance would be good. How far am I from completing my yearly campaign? I'm done. I finished it a week ago. Yeah, and I mean, some of the last 2 years, a lot of this stuff here is from the past 2 to 3 years, and, to be fair, the studio underwent a transition from Cryptic to Deca, and then from Deca back to Cryptic. Especially on the first half of that transition, there was a lot of chaos. And a lot of this stuff fell in right in some of those windows where people had left. Yeah. Where they didn't have... Yeah, it's... Some of this stuff, the timing was a bit rough. We never saw the big changes players, yeah. Give me a bop with pilot command. They did at least hint that the Covert will not be like a 4-2 ship. They were hinting a little bit at an 8-weapon bird of prey on the stream the other day. So, Covert fans, like a month and a half till you hopefully get that beautiful bird of prey, hopefully with some really nice stats. Flight deck carrier finally, that'd be nice. Oh, by the way, I do have some stuff to announce here. First thing is, on Friday I'll be streaming the stuff over on Tribble. But I do have another ship I'm going to be testing on a stream here in the near future. You guys ready for it? I mean, obviously the Damocles I'll be testing on launch day. But anyone want to take a guess as to what other ship I will be taking a look at here soon? It's going to be a surprise to some of you. I'm going to beam down the ground. I did a stream with the Grawl. Sagan. I got it. I was in with Nick when he was testing it out, and I've joked a couple times recently about wanting to do like an eject warp plasma sort of build, and the trait off of the Orchid is like a really potent eject warp plasma style ability. So I was like, okay, I wanna take a look at this. I reached out and here we go. There we go. Proof as ever that he is on the paycheck. Spencer made the watch list. Oh no. Nick was really interested in it for the console. I'm interested in it for the I mean the console looks interesting too. It was funny. It was really funny. Like Nick was like trashing on the console, and then in his stream, like 2 or 3 times, the bait and switch actually saved him. Oh, I forgot too. I've got the Orion Interceptor on this character. I need to look at the other customization options. Nerf SAB, keep the Hexa cannons. Yeah, so here's the Orchid with the Interceptor visual. I don't know how to feel about that, to be honest. That looks a little bit rough. That looks rough right there. Orchid Beta. So this is the current promo ship. We should be seeing a promo flash sale pop up here in the next couple of days too. I like how that red is like it's a little bit shiny back there. And then Interceptor. I wonder, I can put can I put this material on the Interceptor now? Yeah, but this was doing like pretty well for Nicholas when he was testing it, so that's why I was like, oh man. As soon as I saw Nick get like 100k out of it, I was like, damn it. I was like, why you do this to me? Let's just discharge this ship here. IRW. I don't know. So I think only time will tell with the watch list. Like how this ends up going long term is really going to depend on how much we see them go in and buff up underperformers, and you know, of course, how much they hit the overperformers. But I think it's a very delicate situation, and they have to be, especially at a time like this when they're trying to get people back into the game. They got to be very careful about what they're hitting and how much. And I personally, regardless of what gets hit or not, I think any negative adjustments need to happen at the exact same time as some positive stuff. And I think it would be better if the amount of positive things that are getting buffed up is a higher number than the things being taken down, okay? I think at a minimum that needs to be the thing, is if something's getting hit, there's got to be some positive news in the patch notes. If all I see is patch notes saying Hexa's getting hit again, it's not going to feel good. Buff the meta. Hey, buff feedback pulse back up. Bring back the Embassy Plasma consoles. Oh no. Nicholas, how's it going, man? You're live.
I know I'm live. I'm watching. I was watching. Now I'm talking to you. I was gonna say, yeah, for this weekend stream, maybe we got to do a live review of the watch list and yeah, be very critical. Can't nerf your favorite OP Hexa cannons.
I unironically already have something scheduled with Mara and Cheops. They want to record the next captain's table on Monday night, I believe.
But you got to do it live.
Well, actually, I think the plan is to do it live, but we don't respond to chat until the very end. That
boring. That sounds like Trizio. Yeah. Gotta feel the fire live. No, none of this, pre-recorded, edited reactions. Like, gotta do it all live.
Terrible. What is the fleet to join? I run the Breakfast Club, Fed, and KDF. We also have a couple secondary fleets in our Fed Armada. I've got Epic Creator Code CasualSAB. Nick here has the Wombat Combat. What is it?
Wombat Combat League. It's the
Oh.
best name ever.
That's the name. Okay.
Sorry if that's really loud. Spencer!
Yeah.
Hey, you should look at Discord. Sign it in.
I will show people you.
Look,
Yeah.
it's outside. It's outside, everybody.
Okay, Nick.
It's outside.
See,
Really old. I'm not in the driver's seat, you know.
that's a
There's
funny looking starship. A bus, yeah.
What bus am I in?
No,
Is that the question?
No, they well, he's on break.
Yeah.
Yeah, he really is a bus driver. Big bus.
Yeah. Well, it's only 12.5 meters. What was that, 40 foot? It's a small bus. It's a normal size bus. You know?
Moment says, "What is making all that extremely bright light all over? I see no light bulbs." Nick is
That's what yours were.
He's in Australia.
I am. Right here.
Nick drives on the wrong side of the road and you trust him to drive a starship? Terrible. Your bosses know you live stream on your break?
Not yet.
Goodbye, Nick.
Oh. Bye.
I can't see you anymore. He is sealed off from the passengers, so he is safe from crocodile attacks. Oh, no.
Yes. I do have to leave. Spencer, you enjoy your stream. Everybody, remember, you know, code Nick NB at checkout, not this CasualSAB crap.
Didn't your code get deactivated?
Yes.
Terrible. I left the call. Disgraceful. His code doesn't work anymore. What console does a bus come with? I don't know. I just realized for the Orchid, he had his break was over. What happened to his code? He didn't get enough engagement in like the time period that Epic has. Basically, was it? How many uncon procs does the bus get? Not enough. The Orion Interceptor doesn't get the materials from the Orchid. That's a shame. I would like to have seen what that would have looked like. You get the Interceptor materials on the Orchid, but not the other way. Does the bus CSV? It seems more like a FAW boat. Picturing a bus doing a Vovin jump, terrible. But look, I mean, I think I've pretty much covered what I wanted to cover, you know, with the balance stuff. Let me pop it back up here. Like, it's just a really delicate situation. And, you know, to be clear, this is not, that they were very clear, it's not a nerf list. It's not a nerf list. For some of these things, it's just that they want to introduce alternatives. As someone who lived through Jack's City of Heroes, his downfall was directly related to nerfs and not listening to player base, to underperformers, even with strong evidence. I think a lot has changed. I'm hopeful about the future, and again, I would say at a minimum, like if something does come down to a point where they need to lower the performance, then they need to find out something very positive at the same time that's going to offset people being pissed off. I think the based on the reaction, I think not including some underperformers was probably not good. I think the general reaction would have been better from people if there was underperformers listed as well that they wanted to bring up. No, and I did see over on Stowe Reddit, there were people, like immediately hoping that this was going to bring down player performance, especially, with regards to like the high DPS stuff. And the thing to understand, guys, that's not going to happen. That pretty much is never going to happen unless there's some like drastic changes to the game. And I really don't think we necessarily want to see what those sorts of drastic changes would even look like. Yeah, let's open up the thread here. Yeah, I mean, it's the first comment, Ryoken, yes, where's the underperforming watch list? I think I would say just go in, toss a couple underperformers on the list. That would make people feel a bit better. I think just sprinkling in some underperformers would be good. My guess, the pacifier from the nerf bat will likely be allowing more omnis. Every time I see a thread like that, I just want to roll in and demolish someone's TFOs for a while. Bring back Plasmonic Leech. I'm extremely angry CasualSAB was not on the list. Potsy has some good points too, that like Uncon Vovin and Fleet Power has been extremely beneficial for carrier builds. Like the haste from Fleet Power, keep in mind it's also buffing up pets. So there's a lot of alternative playstyles that have seen significant growth in the past couple of years because of things like Uncon Vovin. And again, Uncon, they're introducing alternatives for it. They don't want to nerf it. Vovin, as powerful as Vovin is, it's again the same situation as the Pahvan, where it was out. It's been out for so long that people have spent 40-ish bucks on it. And look, I know some people spend a lot of money on the game, but there's a lot of people, $40. That's a lot of money. I mean, you could go on Steam, pick up a bunch of games. Like you could wait for a sale, get Cyberpunk 2077 on sale. What was it? Logical, was it you earlier mentioned it? Like $20 you could get Cyberpunk. Like you can get a lot for $40 entertainment wise. And in Stowe, if you just bought one of those items on a recent mud sale and then they got hit, that'd be hella demotivating. It's a tough situation. Does Plasmonic Leech still provide any boost to DPS? I mean, it's power, but it's not as important as it once was. I think the way they communicated this watch list leaves a lot to be desired. I just think that based on the reaction, like for me, the thing is, we've known that this watch list was coming for a while, right? Like we've known for a while, because Thomas mentioned this when I interviewed him back in February. It was mentioned again in my 16th bundle interview with the systems team, which I guess I didn't include that footage in the initial interview that I released, but it was out there as soon as like February that a watch list was being looked at. Yeah, $25 for Cyberpunk, and for the price of a single lockbox promo, you can fill a Steam library with indie and even AAA sale games. Yeah. Shiner, how's it going? Omnis being limited to rear weapon slots. I mean, the issue is, King, with that is that there are some people that are doing setups where they'd want to have the Omnis forward. It's rare, but I mean, there are people that would want that. This watch list has everything I play with. Yeah. Yeah, Kale's the community manager. I mean, so here's the thing, guys. They do now have a section over on the Discord for discussing all this stuff. So if you have feedback that you would like to provide, about the items that they've listed or items that you think should be on the list, whether they're overperforming or underperforming, they have a section over on the Discord now, the watch list discussion and suggestions. And, there's a lot of comments about Type 7s, the Hexa cannons, Boimler, the Vovin. Like, if you want to provide your feedback, then do it. Yeah, I think some of the wording, Samuel, I think if they had updated it, especially to include like some of Jeremy's comments there, just better indicating to people that it's not a nerf list. Like, I think if I was them with all the blowback, I'd probably right at the top of the watch list page here, just have like bolded right above this, or like right below phaser hexa cannons in this here, just have it say this is not a nerf list. Just some of the things that Jeremy and Mayo said in the Discord about this, like items on this list are not necessarily going to be nerfed, that there's interest in developing alternatives. Some of these we're just watching for now. Players seem to have a way to min-max in a game and use mechanics. Yeah, I think having some sort of internal performance target for new abilities would be good. I mean, an example that's popped up that I've already seen in that section of the Discord is the trade-off of the legendary Negvar from last year. It sucks. Like, it was doing damage, I think, worse than like a tractor beam. And, for a starship trait, that's complete garbage. I'm running traits that are doing, in some cases 50, 60 times more than tractor beam, and then we've got one that's doing less than one tractor beam. Like that's just a bit rough. And Boimler doesn't need a nerf. Yeah, just make it very clear at the top of the page. This is not a list of nerfs. Like, people need, you just gotta get that up there bold right in front of people. Just to let them know. Find a way to re-engineer the energy type. Yeah, I'd say it does get to a point with like something like Hexas where, like, if you don't want to beat them damage wise, then just create other flavors. Yeah. And that's the thing too, is like this is at a time where they do want people returning to the game, so I don't think this is a good time for any like severe nerfs. But again, this is not it's not a nerf list, okay? Or like you said, make a utility experimental weapon that makes me want to use it over a direct damage experimental weapon. Yeah. Make hexes and all energy types done. Make us pay a lot of dilithium for them. Should experimental weapons perform better than a regular weapon slot? Yes, I believe so. What is the drawback? Well, it's what's supposed to make escorts special. Like science ships get, escorts already down a weapon against a cruiser. Cruisers got their built-in cruiser commands, and sure, I know some would like more for them, but with science ships, you've got some that have 7 weapons, and they've got a secondary deflector. You got some that also have a hangar bay on top of that, and depending on what performance level you're at, that secondary deflector can do a lot. Ponder, terrible. Yeah, I'd say if you have thoughts on any of this, you need to leave feedback over on their Discord. Like, if you can go into those threads and leave your feedback, yeah, just find the thread for the thing you're wanting to leave feedback about and post it in there. Yeah, I mean, it's like I was saying before, there is potential for this to be a very positive thing for the game if we see this actually result in a lot of underperformers, being looked at. But it's a situation of only time's going to tell, right? Yeah, I mean this list is, they've been talking about this list for a while, so this is something that's been looked at for a while now. Yeah. Cruiser commands are still better than the baked-in subsystem targeting, sharing cooldowns with firing modes. Yes. Yeah. While I'm here, I need to get my other dailies done. Defeat board ground. I'll go do that quick. Let's go. Why do I always open the wrong window? Yeah. I think just a good showing on their part would be to definitely go take some of the underperformers that are brought up by the community in that thread and others, and just go give those some attention first. The nerf you want to see is free Borgdorfs for all? No, I don't want to see that. I like that market. Logical over here trying to get rid of my market. Lindell, nice, congrats. Especially with the current server performance. Jokes aside, I obviously play a lot with the DOF market, but I would be open to seeing some nice new duty officers in the fleet system. The issue with the last set of duty officers they put in the fleet system when they did that last update is, like, I don't know if they just ran out of time or something, but like they were just copy paste of very rare DOFs, and they were substantially more expensive. Like, you could buy an Oxtabat Technician that gave the same perk as the ones you could get free from, like, Betran. And it was like 500,000 fleet creds per. Like, it was just ridiculous. Like, the value just wasn't there. The only reason I have as many of those DOFs as I have is because of the 10 mil fleet cred cap and me needing to burn my duty officers to, or needing to burn my fleet creds in order to not have them go to waste. Do the dock capacity increases ever go on sale? Yes. In fact, we might see a sale here soon because we should see a like a duty officer and R&D pack flash sale in the next couple days because the Orchid promo run is almost over. So that should be a pretty good discount.
Damn, she's beaming out.
Andorian Borg. Good. They could maybe give a bound key or two every 4 to 5 days instead of the bonus. Still, I mean, that could work, NeoJet. I mean, you look at a lot of other free-to-play games, and you sometimes give away, like, free packs like that. Like, if I look at World of Warships, which I don't actively play right now, but I have played a bit in the past, and it would not be uncommon to see there be some event from them where you would be able to get some free packs. I mean, that is an established thing that a lot of free-to-play games do. Am I on Xbox? No, I'm on PC right now.
Take down 4 drones to drop her shield.
Was I too slow? Did I not pay enough attention? I missed her shields going down?
Her shield is down. Now's your chance. Open fire.
Terrible.
Gangway's down. Deal with any remaining drones while you can.
Yeah, very common in other free-to-play games. And it also, like, those sorts of mechanics do entice people to engage more with those systems too, because especially if they ever manage to get lucky off of one of those, like, it encourages them. It encourages that behavior, which, I mean, that's not necessarily a good thing to promote, but that's just the way the market works. Not really anything I want here. I got shield regen. I do need to do my stow daily over on console. I'll probably do that later. Yeah. You gotta, yeah, when something is not good, you don't want to just say it sucks. That's true. You want to be able to explain what exactly is wrong with it. Them adding the watch list makes me never want to spend money on the game again. There's always going to be a best item. There's always going to be a best item, a best build. Like, I see every now and then it'll pop up on Reddit, comments, just various places, you know, people will say that they want... recently it's been people want the uncon stuff nerfed so that there's not people doing, you know, crazy numbers. And what people don't understand is there's always going to be people doing crazy numbers. With how stow is structured, like, there's so many different routes to achieve performance, and there's always going to be players that are doing substantially more because just, you know, the skill aspect of it, understanding the synergies, the piloting, that there's always going to be a variance of some sort. It's never really been as severe as it is right now, but I don't know what to say about that. Like, nerfing overperformers won't resolve that. They tried that a long time ago. Every time that they tried to nerf something to bring down top players, it ended up hurting the average and, like, lower end of the spectrum more. Yeah. Yeah, Uncon opens up so many different ways to play, for sure. Yeah. That's because top players have the resources and know how to adapt faster than casual players, yeah. And we also have prior things to fall back on, like, let's say that Uncon was nerfed tomorrow, which they're not going to do. They're not nerfing Uncon. The higher end of the DPS spectrum, we've already got alternatives. Like, we were doing 2 million DPS before the current Uncon situation, really blew up. Like, we would just fall back to some older build approaches and still be getting crazy numbers. I mean, look at the Isocon stuff that Cheops has been pioneering. I've shown it a couple times on stream. Like, that build does really well, and that's, I mean, sure, there's still a few consoles being spammed on it, but like, we would adjust easily. It would just hurt the lower end of the spectrum more. In fact, let me bring out the RP theme build again. Yeah. The newer options just made DPS more accessible for everyone, yeah. And that's really what Stone needs, is the floor brought up. You're never bringing down the ceiling. I mean, keep in mind, the like absolute top of the table records for Infected, they don't even use Uncon because the runs are too fast. Like, those coordinated runs, which we can't even do right now because of servers, but if we could, like, those runs are too fast for Uncon. I mean, you're talking about Infected Elite done in 15 seconds. Like, you just burst the damage. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. That's why Uncon and Vovin, like, as powerful as Vovin is, as much of an outlier as it is, I don't really see them doing much to that either, because it's a central part of that playstyle, and the reality is that playstyle's a seller for them. Like, the console spamming playstyle, as overpowered as some parts of it can be, that makes them money. And they like money. Did I miss something? Shiner, sorry, I just saw your message. Oh. Yeah, I can do that. I hate that this channel is locked down, to be honest. I find it a bit annoying. Only console this guy needs is saucer separation. There is no, like, normal Lexington to buy. I mean, you can get the older Odyssey variants, yeah. I mean, there's other older Odyssey variants, but yeah, the Lexington skin is locked to the Lexington. Have some work ahead of you to keep up the meta. Yeah, I know. Got lots of things to do. Let's do, and I got to do a Borg TFO for my thing, so I guess I'm just gonna pug an Infected here with the RP theme build, which is phasers. If Vovin and Uncon get nerfed, your 100+ pet spam summon build would be retired the next day. Yeah, there's a lot of these off-meta playstyles that have been able to become a thing because of that, and they're not going to hit that. Again, it's not even, it's not a nerf list. Which is my favorite? I think the Noble's the one I've had the most fun flying between the three. The Lamar is also pretty good. But the Noble, I think the Noble I had the best results with. Yeah. Yeah, I got him, Shiner. Sorry, I'm just reading some messages. That's funny, Chiaps. I saw what you put in, elitist. Oh, Shiner, that's nice of you. Courtesy of Shiner, there is a giveaway. We're gonna put this up in the Discord right now. A Lobby ship of your choice or 900 Lobby worth of items that are tradable. And this is going to be for those paying attention to the stream right now. Shiner, that is awesome of you to do. I appreciate that. Let me get that going. So we're going to put that up in the Discord. We'll let it go for the next 10 minutes. I appreciate that. Awesome. One winner, here we go. Yep, so the giveaways channel on the CasualSAB Discord. Go there and just hit that blue and red party icon to enter for a chance to win 900 Lobby worth of stuff. So it's got to be tradable stuff, to be clear. Like so that's like a Lobby ship or a couple Lobby traits, something like that. Casual. Yeah, the link is in the description down below, but I can copy that. Hold on. Paying attention, that's torture, man. Hey, I like what Nick's been doing. Nick, he will make it so if you win one of his giveaways on stream, you have to like be there and respond to what he's saying like in the stream, like what he's verbally saying in order to get it. I know he's had at least one person like messaging him saying, "Hey, where's the item I want?" And he's like, "Well, you didn't pay attention, did you?" You've got things like the Boimler effect, Shadow of the Black Mountain, stuff like that. Shiner, again, thank you. That's awesome. And I do also want to shout out while I'm here. There's another like sort of giveaway over in the CasualSAB Discord. Whoever can guess the 10 ships that I have. So I've got 15 ships in my my best premium ships video for the event campaign this year. I've got 11 through 15 posted. If you can, the first person to guess the first 10, they don't have to be in the exact order, but just the 10 ships I have in there. The first person to guess that will win a T6 coupon. One of the ARC codes that you can redeem on PC, PlayStation, or Xbox. Yeah, the giveaway ends in 9 minutes. But yeah, the first person to get the correct guesses will win. I see some people are close. I mean, there's... people are assuming some ships.
The situation is...
I will tell you that as far as I can tell, nobody... Why am I... Damn it, I don't need to do that. Nobody is... Nobody has the correct 10s so far. Rams? Tried a couple of times, you're not winning. There we go. All the phaser immersion. Beautiful. As my weapon or my engines get shut off there.
The nanite probes can repair the transporters. Stop them.
I deleted, yes, I did delete the list from our messages, Nick. Did you just realize when I put up the giveaway, I was like, oh, I showed Nick this. I'm gonna delete it because I knew you'd go in and probably do that. Is it just a copy paste of the 2025 list? No. There's things that I talked about last year that I won't be including on the list this year. I think there'll be some nice surprises for people, which is good. Shake things up a little bit. Well, oh, I'm not within range for the other... Damn it. Yaps is over there watching and judging hard. Me being out of range on both of them. Guardian. There we go.
Sensors confirm that the transwarp conduit has been destroyed. However, our scans of the starbase are still being...
Nick, you are not allowed to enter. Bad. Bad, Nicholas. Okay, the guesses thus far. Shiner said Yad Thought, Obina, Credence, Gorn Hunter, Delkina, Deimos, Friendship, World Racer, Connie 3, Trafalgar. Nope. Was she ops on that run? No. Yeah, I saw. Nick was typing there. I saw Cheops too. I don't think I showed Cheops the list. Bad, Nicholas. I see a couple things that people are repeatedly mentioning. A few glaring omissions. One in particular. Nick isn't bad. He is just an Australian. That's why they were sent there by the Brits long ago. Is your list crate-based? I mean, there's of course some recommendations that are going to help with that build, but it's more of like just general value. Okay. Nick was just memeing. I do not want to open Cheops messages on stream. We ain't doing that. No, Cheops, it couldn't be. No hints. No. Or yeah, it's for the event. For the event campaign box. So it has to be ships released before this year. Put the Duder stat on the list just to throw people off? Oh no. Yeah, it's options for the premium event campaign box. I know 1701 has dropped his top 10, but I don't actually know what ships he has on there. He beat me to the punch this year. I gotta be faster next year. Well, okay, so I already for the guesses here, I already have 11 through 15 listed, so that it's a top 15 list, like I did last year. Yeah, I saw on the video list that we have for builds, I saw you dropped his top 10 already like a week or two back. The Sagan from Elite Market Manipulation Meta. Yeah, so these are 11 through 15 are ships that are already available account-wide via various packs. So Mir Strikewing Escort, the D7, Crossfield Refit, Mir Warship, the Atlas. The ones you guys have heard me talk about many, many times. So 1 through 10 are not currently in a Muds bundle. I see a message from Game Freaks. I'm concerned. I mean, I did like a top 15-ish list last year, so I'm just keeping up to what I did last year. Giveaway ends in 20 seconds. You won't win. Okay, the winner is Dastrus. Dastrus is 1. There you go. Shiner, thank you again for doing that. It's really nice of you. But this, this is not going to be a super long stream because I want to get that video finished. Do they have 30 seconds to claim? Terrible. Yeah, this isn't going to be a super long stream though, because I want to get the video done tonight, and yeah, I'm my event campaign video at this rate's going to end up being Friday at this rate, but yeah, the event campaign video is dropping this week, and it's top 15 ships, so a big list. Friday will be a miracle by the standards of Crate Part 2. You need to respond in the Discord, MB. Just go into general chat in the CasualSAB Discord and say hi, and put your @ handle there. I like the list and the whole idea of keeping us more informed. I hate what they put on the list, yeah. It's just a matter of, based on the reception, we've known that this was coming for a while. So my response is very different to how a lot of you are feeling, because, we've known that this was coming for, the last 3 months. So this isn't news, but for people that hadn't seen that interview with Thomas, or some of the discussion about this stuff in the past couple of months, it is coming out of nowhere for a bunch of people for sure. I'm not surprised by the list. I just, based on the response, I'm not even really that concerned about things. Neojet, you thought it was going to be longer? Yeah. I'm not really concerned. I mean, to be honest, my viewpoint on this, knowing, some of the background is, if I hadn't done it, this stream, I feel like a bunch of people would have been, it's been good for me to get an idea on y'all's vibes, even though I've seen a lot in the Discord, because my my video, with some of the additional context I have, was going to be probably a bit like too positive. I mean, I do think that there's potential for this to be good long term if we do actually see them buff up the underperforming items. But I think the idea that this is not just a nerf list, or the idea that this is not, just purely just a bunch of stuff that's getting nerfed, that hasn't gotten to people yet. So I think that's caused the desire for pitchforks. This list feels so surface level. Yeah, it's because it kept popping up. There was a question about it on the recent stream, I believe, and then I don't know. Timing felt a little bit rushed there. Because it was like it came up on the stream yesterday, and then the day after we got the blogs. Yeah, and that's why. Okay, so I'm gonna just showcase the video to you guys so far, and you guys tell me what your thoughts are. So this doesn't have any of my opinion basically yet. This is the video as is. Let me make sure aux is on so you guys can hear it. You guys tell me what you think. Howdy folks, Spencer here, and today Cryptic has released the STO watch list, detailing some performance outliers that they're keeping an eye on. It is important to note that this is not a nerf list. It is simply them acknowledging that they are aware of these items standing out. It is also not the complete list, as there are many underperforming items that they want to look at as well. Now, I'll be reading this blog out and responding to the list in full in a few minutes, but to start things off, I want to showcase some clips from interviews I've done with Thomas Marone and the STO Systems team regarding this list. As always, chapters are listed below if you want to skip ahead.
And I know Jack.
Did everyone on Twitch just get an ad as I started that? Sorry, hold on, YouTube chat. I want the Twitch people to be able to see it. Okay. Oh, you're subbed. You have all ad blockers? I mean, me too. Is Spencer re-recording the Howdy Folks every time? I am re-recording the Howdy Folks every single time, and I will even put it on my script. At least to get some ad money. Pontiff, are you back? Is everyone on Twitch back? I'm gonna just re-roll it to the start here, so that's 30 seconds. You guys got to rewatch. Okay. So, as soon as Twitch says they're back, I need to find where these settings are. Monetization ads. Oh, the ads were set to every 5 minutes every hour, so now they're down to 3 minutes every hour. There you go. You're back? Okay. Okay, here we go. Howdy folks, Spencer here, and today Cryptic has released the STO watch list, detailing some performance outliers that they're keeping an eye on. It is important to note that this is not a nerf list. It is simply them acknowledging that they are aware of these items standing out. It is also not the complete list, as there are many underperforming items that they want to look at as well. Now, I'll be reading this blog out and responding to the list in full in a few minutes, but to start things off, I want to showcase some clips from interviews I've done with Thomas Marone and the STO Systems team regarding this list. As always, chapters are listed below if you want to skip ahead.
And I know Jack is very adamant about us basically making a watch list inspired by Magic the Gathering, where we basically post on a website. These are things that we've heard about from the community that seem out of whack. We're keeping an eye on them. They may change in the future, right? And so So being more open, like openly communicating about that stuff. And I would hope that in the future it doesn't take as long as it took for the Hexa cannons to address. Just in general, I think that's a goal we have. But at the very least, we will be setting that up on our website soon, like a watch list with if there's something that we expect, hey, this is overperforming or even underperforming. It doesn't have to be just things that are overperforming. So I think people can expect and should expect better communication on that, and we've got a path forward to do it.
Well, and that's probably something just to mention since we have you here, because I know this is a subject that you will be interested in once we get it out in front of players, like our watch list that we've mentioned a few times in the past. Our goal is to have something up by the end of the month that we have something in front of players that they can understand where our mindset is at with certain items that are considered overperformers and what sort of turnaround players might expect in terms of tuning, or at least what kinds of things we're looking to tune on those on all of that. Going forward, I want to also try to find some sort of way that we can interface with content creators or really active members of the build community to get more input in front of us for these items that we understand are overperforming. And right now in the first iteration, the watch list will just be overperformers. I know I've mentioned in the past I have an interest in tuning up some underperformers, but there's hundreds of those in SEO at this point. So pick and choosing which ones are the important underperformers is still an ongoing process. I think for the most part, we'll probably be focusing on things that are like in high profile bundles. Like if there's one thing out of the 10th anniversary bundle, for example, that's kind of a stinker, those will probably end up on our underperforming watch list or something. Yeah. Anyway, something in those kind of spaces is probably where we'll start our focus on those.
Gotcha. People will be very happy to hear that, and I can already imagine people saying they want weaponized time crystals from the 10th to be like complex for AP. Bottom is Phil, Alex, and Miku. They are all part of the Stow Systems team. Dan?
Yeah, maybe. Although complex is a little bit, it's right on the edge of the watch list. I'll tell you that much.
It's on the edge, but the broadside beam support trade off the Corolla last year, that can outdo it. Like,
yeah,
there are other things that can.
It's not always
under the right conditions.
Under the right conditions, yes.
I mean, when we talk about what ends up on the watch list, it's not always just a matter of like what's best in slot or can it not be outdone by anything else. It's also a matter of like, is it warping player perceptions of the game in general? Is it warping the ways that people address new releases? Like the Type 7s are a great example of this, right? Right now, in the current atmosphere of the game, if we release a ship that doesn't have a hangar bay, a lot of players think that it's subpar, that it's not worth getting.
Well,
because if it can't use a Type 7, why bother, right?
It's just got to have a lance that can deal like 30 mil hits.
We just break it with a different problem.
Yeah. Mile, I'm sorry.
Getting ashamed there.
I think I deserve that.
It's all right. We actually have some tuning fixes incoming. They're working their way through the pipeline as of today for the Impersa. So those will be out in the hand.
Again, recorded March 18th, so 2 months ago.
Players relatively soon.
Yeah, there was a lot of research put into that, so I hope it's good enough.
Now,
we wanted to make sure as much as we can that, when we take a big tuning pass on some of these items, we don't want to have to do it multiple times, right? So we really want to measure twice, cut once in these situations.
Now, and then the rest is me reading out the, thus far is me reading out the blog and then the comments from Jeremy over on the Discord. So my assessment we're going over the list, and my overall assessment isn't on there yet. But I mean, it's going to be a long video. I haven't even gotten to the list yet, and it's already 8.5 minutes. I thought it was nice, that I could include that I had relevant footage from those prior interviews this year to include. I thought that was beneficial for this situation. Yeah. So, you know, to be clear, and I think it's just the way the announcements landed and the items that they highlighted first has just pissed people off. Um, but I think, again, that it's just a first day blunder with this. Like, I think what people want to see based on it today is even just saying, hey, here's a couple of underperformers we're looking at, and just getting better wording on there to tell people that this is not a nerf list. Like that you know, some of this stuff is going to be looked at by introducing alternatives. Yeah. I mean, there are some items, to be clear, I don't see how they address them other than, like, if they want to address them, I don't see how there's a different path other than nerfing, like the Pahvan Omni. It's again that situation we talked about before of people have spent a lot of money on that, so pretty much any tuning action there will piss people off. Yeah. Unlock the Omnis. Okay, this is entirely hypothetical, guys. This entirely hypothetical. This is me just brainstorming. If they came out and said that you could now run 3 Omnis and all 3 of them could be set Omnis, but at the same time the resonance charge stuff on the Pahvan Omni took like a 50% hit, how would you feel about that? Would that be enough of an offset for you? Just brainstorming here. Like, they don't even have to actually lower the what is the proc on this? As part of the reason that like this is so damn special. I mean, there's a couple reasons the Pahvan Omni's special. It gets fire at will when you hit CSV that's a big thing. But the proc is 33%. Like, how much of a hit would that be if the proc was even lowered to, you know, what, like 15, 20? 25? Even cut in half, resonance is worth it? You still wouldn't be happy? I'll never be happy, but that will suffice. Yeah, I mean, I would say if they offered a Zen refund, if they hit it hard enough, we haven't really seen them do that before, but if people were that unhappy about it, giving that as an option, yeah, they will never offer a refund, yeah. How about they buff up the other 95% procs that are 2.5%? Yeah. I mean, I'm just brainstorming. I'm just brainstorming hypotheticals here. They should never be selling build critical items in MUDs. It boxes them in. That's a fair assessment too. The other damage types need an equivalent to the low B bubble Omni to offset it. I want to run all turrets and all attack buffs. Nice. Shiner, thank you again for that. Yeah. Raise all procs to 10%. That will do. It would be interesting to see weapon procs matter again. Because, yeah, right now they basically, for the most part, don't. Outside of a handful of exceptions. Did I get... Cheops. I am going to be doing content with the Orchid, as I talked about before. I will be, Orchio. Look, that was an embarrassing mispronunciation, okay? You guys know how I am with wording sometimes. It's a bad font, I'll give you that. I mean, it was... So, with that day, it was also the fact that it was, like, in a very small, like, corner of my screen up there. So it's like this small corner of my top screen, and I'm, like, focused on my prompter, which is over here. Which, by the way, I'll show a picture here. This is messy, because I'm still working on it, okay? But I was working on the prompter situation. I tilted my top monitor so it's no longer vertical, and yeah, I moved my Kofo arm over there that I got from a video a while back, but I need to find some stuff. And now we get to the real reason Spencer is happy. Wow, logical. And now we get to the real reason Spencer is happy with the nerf list. All it takes is a free promo from the folks at Star Trek Online. Terrible. That would make other ships more competitive with Strike Command escorts. Yeah, Shadow, I need to rename it. Ever run an EMF scanner in that room? No. But I do have... There's a lot of background right now because I've got the fans turned up to high on the radiator because... everything's turned to maximum because about 10 minutes ago, as I was starting up that video, I realized that my pump and my fans were basically running at their passive mode, and that is not enough when I have the game up and OBS and DaVinci and everything else. So my GPU was sitting at a toasty 56 degrees, which means the water was approaching high 40s. It's not that warm in here right now. It's 22.5 Celsius or 73 Fahrenheit. Yeah. Freedom degrees. How about them giving us the option? That's not gonna happen, Dan. Realistically, how do Omni stacking up, putting the Pahvan aside? I think unlocking them really doesn't make much difference, just makes piloting easier for low effort players. It's just different options. Like, if you decided you wanted to run an all Omni setup, I mean, sure, you'd be able to fly easier, but you'd be taking a lower damage in exchange for that. I need a liquid cooling sponsorship soon. Did I watch The Boys finale? I did watch it this morning, and I was not impressed. I saw the spoilers like right after people left the theater, so I knew what was going to happen. So it was spoiled for me right away. But yeah, that was disappointing. Right now, I am at this point, like, I am much more interested in seeing what happens with For All Mankind, and From. Cheops told me to take a look at From recently, and I've been watching it. I binge watched like all 3 seasons in a couple days. Like that shows something. From is awesome. Yeah, they're just halfway through season 4 right now. Was the boys finale Game of Thrones bad? It wasn't as bad as Game of Thrones, but it was not good. Like it was the boys final season, it really felt like it was too much of, instead of them focusing on finishing out this like main story like they should have, it feels like the final season was more of them being told to redirect attention towards the spin-offs. Xfinity sent you an angry message about downloading from, by the way. I mean, Chiaps. I've got a VPN card here. Hold on. Where? I don't know where it is on the desk, but you got to get like what VPN you using, or did you not use a VPN? My man, did you not use a VPN and download? I got too much crap in this room. Yeah. You don't have one? Bro. Bro. What is wrong with you? By the way, on the topic of shilling here, I do have some announcements on the shilling front. In fact, let me go full camera here for a moment. There we go. Beautiful. This shirt does not look good on camera, does it? Yeah, I mean, I've got a lifetime membership to Winscribe. That was like the best $30 I ever spent. 30 or it was 30 to $40, but I bought it almost a decade ago, and it's worked well. I also have Molvad that I use whenever I'm using more than like 5 terabytes in a month. But I have another video incoming for another keyboard. I also have a video incoming for another monitor arm. The reason for the monitor arm is because they're paying me and I like money. Did I just say 5 ter? Yeah, so with Winscribe, they can get a little bit picky if you use too much data in the same month. So I had a month where I think I may have like downloaded, let's say, in the neighborhood of about 35 terabytes of data. And I was like, it was right at a time when there was like some controversy happening with Winscribe of people getting in trouble for downloading too much. So I was just like, okay, I'm just going to buy like a month of Molvad for like $6. Where do I have this damn time card? It's going to be right on the desk. I just don't want to move the camera right now. Yeah, I can't find it right this second. Darthon, good night. Yeah, dude, just literally like Molvad, it's like $5-6 a month. Or if you want Proton VPN's perfectly fine. I like Winscribe, but yeah, Winscribe I would not use for more than a couple terabytes a month. All them 3D, look, it's just all the Linux ISOs. I actually like I've got all these extra drives and I like legitimately need to start using them. I bought all the hard drives up before the prices went crazy, but like look at my my current storage situation. 8.23, or what is it? Available. Okay, yeah, so 8.2 terabytes used out of 8.3, 49.6 out of 50.6, 26.43 out of 29. Yeah, I need to get the other storage rolling. I'm running out of space. Yeah, I know we're really off topic now. Yeah. I need more. I've got drives. You're downloading Proton. It's free. The only issue that I have, the reason I haven't done this full data transfer yet, is I need to go through, dump all of the data off of my like primary array, and then I need to delete it so that I can redo it with the new amount of drives. Because right now it's 2 RAID Z1 VDEVs, so 3 wide there, so there's just 1 drive of redundancy in each VDEV, and I want to go in and redo that, and in total I've got 14 terabyte drives that I'm going to be using, so that's over double what I've got right now. Everwind, thank you for stopping by. But yeah, I've got like all of my stow runs, all my stow videos backed up, so that's a lot of video. A lot of video. Dark Eddy, the GPU is water cooled, so if I have my pump and the fans running like at really low, it means the water is approaching high temperatures. That can be problematic. Yeah. Okay. Well, this just chatting section of the stream has been fun, but I am going to bail out. I'm going to make a very positive video on the balance stuff and to get accused of shilling. Yeah, Chops, you're gonna have to pay. You gotta pay. Yeah, I'm not doing the Universal Endeavor. No Universal Endeavor today. Oh, I do have enough to buy 10 keys. Okay, I'll do it. We're going to go back to New ROM, and I'm going to open 10 lockboxes. Shill. I think in context of everything else that I've shown, like, does it make it sound any better to you guys? Like, that it's... I feel like the blog came off, gave the wrong impression to people. Like, do the clarifications help at all? Does it make you feel any better, or are you still rather negative about the situation? Have I done anything to help the situation out? I saved it. Oh no. King of recoveries. I gotta put work in, okay? Yeah. Stanky boy terrible. By the way, any of you that are looking for a Riemann infiltrator, I decided to post a couple of mine up on the exchange. So if you want a Riemann infiltrator, I put up one for each career at 125. One sold. So that's what's funding the keys here. My entire reasoning is just gambling on... Well, it's like they're not doing anything for me sitting there, but if there's a chance that they do end up in, like, the embassy, like, I'd rather not be sitting on them. I don't know if they will, but I just... rather be safe. Does the shilling get me a T6 shitbox? That would have been funny. No. I got a T5, which doesn't count. I think Firefox, yeah, Firefox has a VPN service. A bunch of things do. I know it is sad, isn't it? I'm a little negative, but I was anyways. I definitely don't think it's enough for everyone to go crazy over. Love the concept, hate the presentation. Brave has Tor built in. Terrible. Yeah, I like my Firefox. I use, basically at this point, I just use Firefox and Chrome. Chrome, I think, sucks, to be clear. I think Chrome is terrible, but I use Chrome whenever I'm doing any shopping because of the cashback extensions. Like, look, I know I'm giving data to whatever company about my shopping experience there, but, I've had purchases on, like, AliExpress where it's like, oh, I can get 30% back. Okay, I'll do it. I will let them see my AliExpress purchase, and I will take the 30% cash back. Or, like the Capital One ones that pop up. Like, that's all I use Chrome for, is shopping. I got my my newest camera a little bit cheaper. Looking forward to playing on the Triple Test server. Yep, we'll be doing that Friday. We'll be streaming on Friday, and I will also be... I do want to get a video up showing, how to get everything set up over on Triple. The watch list is like your girlfriend asking for an open relationship. It's not plain cheating, but now that it's up in the air, it's bound to happen. Terrible. Oof. That's an oof right there. Oh yeah, congrats on the T6 win the other day. Nothing I like seeing more on a bad exchange day than seeing epic creator code CasualSAB blasted on my screen. That was 7. That was 7 lockboxes too, Logical. Triple still a laggy mess? We don't know. 10k lockbox opening to break in Triple? That sounds like a fun idea. Nothing will have changed there. Honestly, I sort of wish for lockboxes and promo ships over there. It sort of worked like now that we know what the drop rates are and stuff, like we don't necessarily need to retest that stuff. But if it was like promo, or not promo, like Epic Phoenix tokens, where every time you open a pack over there, it's guaranteed to be the grand prize, that'd be interesting. It's not, like, that's the thing, too. It's not free if I gotta work for it. Like, I got a free keyboard. Do you know how much work I'm gonna have to do for this? Like, yeah, it's like a $160 keyboard, but I'm gonna be, working a couple hours on the video, getting hands-on with it. Like, getting free stuff as a YouTuber sounds nice in concept until you realize you gotta actually do the work. The keyboard, it's I mean, I could give you the link. Give me a second. One moment. It's got a nice retro style too. I believe I've got a discount code for this, and I think it's already active. But this is the keyboard here. And there's already a code there, CasualSAB, that should be, I think it's either like 5 or 10% off. I don't remember, but this is the keyboard. Yeah, this is the keyboard I'll be doing a video on. So it's a magnetic one. So if you like the Hall effect stuff, MS, you've come back to Star Trek after a 5-year break from it. You're enjoying the game again? Nice. Yeah. I don't know if they've wiped Tribble with this. They've done that in some cases of the past. How much work am I going to put into the Orchid? Is it HM? It's HM80. It's an 80% keyboard. So there's no numpad on it, which, I mean, I know not everyone's a fan of. If I could get to it right now, I would grab one of my standalone numpads, but I don't I don't have easy access to that right now. There's a pile of boxes in the way. Not pronounced Timbo, no. Yeah, Trouble. They had some pretty good deals running. So yeah, if you do that and use the code they sent over, that'd be great. Like, I don't get any kickback off of you using my code for that OLED stuff. Where did I set mine? I don't have it plugged in right now, but the yeah, that little battery station's nice. The Orion Interceptor was the one with that. Yeah, so the Orion Interceptor has the top experimental weapon for 360-degree setups. I think that's the Orion Interceptor's experimental weapon. I think is what spurred on the entire situation with Hexa cannons, was because when the reviews dropped for the Orion Interceptor, we were pretty much like, there's no way this can be better than the Hexas, and I think that immediately spurred up the Hexa tuning that happened. Yeah. The 50 crates of tea? How many crates of tea do you think I have? Well, I mean, if you want a mini keyboard, like the reviews I've seen for this already, like before I even accepted it, like I always make sure to take a look at the company, and that after some of my earlier experiences with controllers, I do a bit more research on the company and the product now, and like everything I saw was that this was going to be a solid keyboard. So tried to close the keyboard window on the stream. I'm sorry, I'll move it out of the way. No more shilling right now. And yeah, there should be a code CasualSAB over there. I actually am low on orange chicken right now. I'm gonna have to make another stop over to the good old Costco here soon enough. Bro. Have I tried a capacitive touchscreen keyboard? No. The water in Spencer's body will protect the downstairs neighbors? Geops. Because of this lovely stuff here, I don't have as much to me now. Someone call and warn Costco about Spencer. Okay, that is enough stream for today. Thank you all for tuning in. Is there someone safe for me to raid on the Twitch side? Sure, we're gonna raid the biggest meta fan. Guys, if you're on Twitch, make sure to go over, say hi to Wolf here. He's a big meta fan. Just tell him Spencer says hi. There you go. He's a big fan of me, big fan of the meta content. Oh, Muak, sorry I saw that too late. Rip. Ripperoni, I raided Cornelio last time. Cornelio will probably be on for me to raid next time. Yeah, okay. There goes the Twitch folks to Wolf. Can I tell you it's not a nerf list one more time? Yeah, it's a balancing list. No, it's a watch list.
How was your stream?
It's good. Gotta run. Fun. But that's not the case, because some of the stuff on there they've already actively it's been creating alternatives to, so it's not. There are things on there that may very well be nerfed, but it's not entirely a nerf list, to be clear. There's other ways to approach balance issues. Terrible. Okay. thank you all for tuning in. I will see you guys on stream live Friday. So I'll probably get that scheduled up here tonight or tomorrow. See you guys around.